So welcome to Blazing Gamer, and in this episode of Oops tutorial with Java, we'll be going over the for loop. In the last episode, we went over the while loop and we discussed a little bit about when to use which type of loop. So this episode we'll be going over the while loop, and as I said in the earlier episode, while loop is used when you don't know how many iterations the loop will run through. For example, I have a basic while loop here. So the syntax of while loop is just the while keyword and a parentheses, inside which we put in a boolean expressions. This is same as the expression we put in if else statement. I can have a big expression when I can use logical AND and logical OR operators and club together multiple small boolean expressions. So depending upon the result of these boolean expressions, if this is true, the while loop will run. If this is false, the while loop will terminate. So in this example, I have an integer initialized to 0, and the while loop runs till this x becomes 4. And I just have a basic random number generator. You don't need to understand that. But basically, this random number generator generates a random number between 0 and 5. And we print that. So we don't know in how many iterations we would get x equal to 4. So in this case, for loop is very helpful. So if we press Ctrl Shift F10, well, this time we got it in the first iteration. If we press it again, this time we got it in more iterations than one, like 7 iterations. So we don't know in how many iterations we would be getting the results. So in these cases, for while loop is useful. Now you may argue that this can be done in the for loop, and that's true. We can do the same with the for loop also. If I just do this int y equals to 0, while y not equals 4, and I just copy paste this, and I replace this with y and y. I need a for loop here. I wrote a while loop again. For will not give any iteration, just time any initialization variable. We'll try to keep it as similar as while loop. We can just put here y not equals 4, and there's no need for any updation because you do the updation using the random generator. So this will work the same way. Wait a minute. Just move them for now. So this will also work the same way as the while loop. But the thing is, this doesn't read better because beforehand we had this while x not equals to 4, do this. Now this is for y not equal to 4, do this. Now that doesn't make much sense, and you need to try to keep your code as understandable, as comprehensible as possible. Your code should be self-documented as much as possible. There's no need to create complicated code, because if you are sharing your code with others and working with others, it will be difficult for them to understand the code. And this is much more understandable than this, because we have these two semicolons here, and that just creates confusion. Of course, to an expert programmer, it won't do any confusion, he will understand. But if you have a bigger loop, say of 20-30 lines, and there are a big boolean expression here, it's better to use a while loop than a for loop. And in theory, we know that anything that can be done with a for loop can be done with a while loop, can also be done with a do while loop. So that's it for while loop. There's another thing, you can give it while loop's boolean constants also. Like we showed, we could run the for loop infinitely. We can do the same for while loop also. If I just press enter here true, which is constant for, well, true, this while loop will run infinitely until I have any break statements inside here, like I showed you in the for loop. Let's just add this. We'll just add that thing back. Yeah, and we just do this true, and we can do if x equals 4, so small x, do a break. Okay, now there's one more thing that I didn't tell you in the previous episode, like I didn't encapsulate this statement inside curly braces. That's because if you have only one statement that you need to put inside a while or an if statement, you don't need curly braces. So this is also equally valid. Just use for I, and I can just do 10, and I can remove these curly braces and just have an SOP here, and this will work the same way as the normal for loop. But if you have more than one statement inside a loop or an if statement, you need to use the curly braces. So that's it for the for loop. As you can see, this was an infinite loop. As you can see, IntelliJ is also saying that it's an infinite loop, but we have a condition to break it, so that's why it didn't run infinitely, and surprisingly we got 4 on our first attempt. If I just increase the bound so that it will be difficult to get to 4. Oh, we still got 4 on the first attempt. Yeah, this time we didn't get 4 on the first attempt, we got 0, 9, 9, 8 and 4. So I'm pretty sure you understand the concept of while loop now. You may go ahead and practice yourself. You can also read about loops on Geeks for Geeks. It's a wonderful website for programming and covers many more languages than Java, C, C++, everything. You'll get all detail you need on over there. For an extra challenge, you may also go and read about this random number generator. Let's see if you can find something about it and post it in the comments if you are able to find anything, how this random works. And I'll be going over this when we get to the fun part of Java, that's actually the object orientation of Java. Right now we are just discussing basic statements and keywords so that you are able to understand what the code is. So thanks for watching, and please do leave a like if you learned something, and subscribe for more videos to come on Java. Thank you.